multiplying radicals. If you're going to multiply radicals, there's a couple different ways to do it. You can try to take care of these things separately, or you can just multiply the insides and the outsides of each of these. So for instance, since there's only ones on the outside, I'll leave that alone. This would be the square root of a squared, which just becomes a. Kind of a hard concept for some students to realize is that the squared and the square root actually undo each other. They undo each other, so that if I have something like the square root of 6 squared, that just becomes 6. If I have the square root of 72 squared, that just becomes 72. Similarly, if I have the square root of 16 and the squared is on the inside, that just becomes 16. So when I have something like the square root of a times the square root of a, just like we have, the answer just becomes a, and you don't have to really show a whole lot of work for it. Like I said earlier, when you multiply radicals, you multiply the insides and the outsides, and then you will simplify. This will become 35 times the square root of 24. We then break 24 down. We'll just say this is 12 and 2. That's 2 and 6. That's 2 and 3. We look for pairs again. Here's a pair of 2's. So I'll say 35 on the outside times 2. What's stuck on the inside is the 3 and 2 is still remaining. So that'd be 70 times the square root of 6. Turns out to be my final answer. The same process works when we're working with radicals that have variables on the inside. So I'll just multiply by outsides. That's 5 times 3 is 15. Square root of x times the square root of x just gives me x. I'll throw the same thing over here. 1/2, negative 1/2 times negative 6 gives me a positive 3. And the square root of y times the square root of y just gives me y. There are a few more complicated examples. If you want to look at how those might work, tune in to my next video.